good to have him. His lovely wife is with us as well. It's good to have her. And number one son. Yeah. All right. We are going to have a jam tonight, and it may not come off right at 8 o'clock. It may be a little after, and that's okay. It's not a big deal. So if you're here for the jam, we've got some sets open. You can sign up, and we'll continue to open them up as we go along. So without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to your MC for this evening. He thinks he's funny, so laugh with him. Steve Goler, everybody.
I want to start with one thing. I want to find out who in this room has known Tim the longest. So, anyone has known Tim 10 years? Teresa, you don't count. Not the wife, no. Musicians. You don't count. You don't count, you're his son. Okay, here we have, who is that? Dusty. Anybody known Tim 15 years?
15 minutes.
Okay, 15 minutes. Anybody 15 years in the room? I've known Tim, which one's Tim? I've known Tim just about a year, and in the year that I've known him, we have forged a great friendship. The way this happened, if you don't know what Tim does, he's a sound engineer. And a sound engineer is someone who makes good musicians better and bad musicians loud. Tim gave me that line Saturday, okay?
I didn't come up with it.
It's not his, but it's a good line. Is Matt Johnson here? Yeah, okay. We'll bring Matt up later. He's going to be here later. About 2 months ago, JD and I, Sue, were freezing at the back of the beach house, and after about 10 hours of doing a benefit, Tim was walking around with his iPod and his stylus and mumbling under his breath, and he was doing one of many free benefits he does, and this was for the Kidney Foundation. Tim also does the sound here on Tuesday night for the Music of My People, the Blues Jam, for 5 years. He does the sound for many of the best bands in town, including Blivet, BLP, Dark Horse. He's done sound for Virgin Marys, the Thermatones, and just about everybody.
A lot of people.
A lot of people. So, having really just met him, I can't say a lot about him, but I'm going to bring some people up that can. And the first one that is going to talk about him is his son, David. David's first, because he actually has a gig tonight he's got to get back to. He is a musician. David Tyson, come on up.
Well, hello there. Thank you for having me up here tonight to say a couple of words. Probably not as eloquently as Steve here, but I wanted to say a couple things about the memories I have and the culture of music in the household in which I grew up. My dad always had a very specific affinity for the quality of sound in the household growing up. It was always real important that his stereo was top-notch in the house, and I remember also him finding the different discs or 8 tracks or whatever it was that he was in that would sound the best on his particular sound system. This was important to him. As we would be playing in the backyard, he would crank the stereo up, at which point my mother would say, "Now Tim, please, for the love of God, please, turn it down." He got into, I remember his car stereo was very, very important. He invested a lot of time and energy into the sounds in his car stereo and which configuration of subwoofers, if it was a 10 and 2/8, or if it was going to be 2 10s and a 12. It was very important to him, the quality of sound. Which brings me to the point that I'm trying to make is when I found myself in my first real professional rock band, I needed somebody to run the sound board. So I called my dad up and I said, all right, look, all you got to do is pull this fader up if you can't hear the singer, and push it down if the singer is too loud. Like the singer is ever going to be too loud, right? Okay. And so we went out. This gig was at Wilson's. It used to be Alley's. It's closed now. But we went out there and we played these gigs. And this is when my dad, for the first time, I believe, experienced feedback. And I remember it very vividly, the feedback humming throughout the room as we were doing our sound check, him not knowing exactly what to do with the feedback. And we were at a point in our career where we would do a sound check and then go back home for a couple hours, you know what I mean, and come back later. And I remember him coming back later, and he was very, very relaxed before the gig, and I'm like, Dad, how can you be so chilled out because there was all this feedback? And he said, well, I went home and made a big ass drink. And that got him through his first gig experiencing feedback, a big ass drink. So anyway, I like to take a little bit of pride in being one of the first bands that my dad has been able to work with. And I'm assuming that some of the knowledge he gained from working with my outfit helped him when he was working with Collective Soul, and when he was working with who are some of these other bands?
The Troubadours.
Montgomery Gentry and these things. And the reason why he was able to be so successful with them is because he indeed worked with me.
Yeah.
So anyway, I just am very fortunate to be a part of that. Like I said, the culture of me growing up and what shaped me as a musician was enjoying music in the household, and I'm lucky enough to have been raised with bands, classic rock bands and real, blues music and things like this. I was raised with good music and quality of sound and performance, and I can remember at a very young age, me and my dad going downtown and listening to Mike Edwards and the band doing the cover of Dark Side of the Moon downtown. I was this big, and that stuff shaped who I am today. So I guess I would just say, thank you for cultivating that in my life as a musician. So thank you.
Steve, where's your gig tonight?
Thalian Hall.
Thalian Hall, yeah.
Oh, that's why you're not real.
That's why, that's why I'm slumming it.
In the pit.
In the pit.
Tim, come up here for 1 second, please. Yeah. Trey Metz. Trey? Trey is from the Pink Hills, and Tim's done several sound engineering for them, and he's a couple, yeah. Go on, Trey.
Hi, I'm Trey. I'm the Pink Hills here in Wilmington, North Carolina. We have the Pink Fire Truck. We're a local cancer nonprofit, if you've seen us around. Anyway, we support women and their families through their fight with cancer and any disease mainly. But anyway, we just want to come and give a little appreciation to Tim for the few events he's been able to help us out with. It was a great appreciation, and it's always been hard to find a good sound guy. So we're very grateful to have him, and thank you for helping us.
Yeah.
We have something once a month. Ruth Downey has a Supper Lovers Music Club. Did I get it right? It's a music lovers supper club. And about, 3 or 4 months ago, I'm talking to Tim outside, and he says, you're a good businessman, I want to ask you something. And he presented something to me, and I said, let's sit down and have a cup of coffee. And the first time I really talked to him, We went to Port City, Java for 4 hours. Yeah. And I'm not going to tell him the outcome, but it doesn't matter. But it's all good, right? And he's still broke, yeah. One of the bands that Tim regularly works with, Believe It. Holly, David, Bert, Bo, come on up here, please, all of you.
Checking.
Well, first thing I want to say is, my goodness, ain't he cute? He is. He's adorable. You gotta love this guy. Tim's amazing. He does wonderful, wonderful stuff for us. Can't say enough about his nature and just the amount of time he spends and the love and passion he has for all of this. And we love him and appreciate him. And I'll let somebody else talk because I will never shut up.
Well, listen, one thing I'd like to say about Tim is, you know, we all know that he's a skilled person behind the board and does a great job actually mixing sound and all that. I think that's obvious to everybody who's been to a show that he's been involved in. But I'll tell you, I think I speak for everybody as musicians, it's more important, honestly, to deal with somebody who's a good person and you know, understands that in this town and in a lot of towns, you know, doing what we do, it's not about the money. You know, we're not getting paid enough to be that intense and that crazy about it. We're there because we all love it. We love to play. He loves to make us sound really great. And, you know, he's a gearhead, and that's great. But we get it. We get it. You understand? And the good thing is that Tim gets us. And you know, doesn't bring an agenda, you know, other than what he wants to do to the table, and we really appreciate that. And yeah, we just have a good time. When we have a good time as a band, we always have. It's always been about fun for us. So Tim has fit in perfectly with that from day one. He has that mindset. So I don't know. One thing I've always said about our band is, and this is not to, don't take this the wrong way, but we really don't care about the audience. At least I don't. We really don't. We're there to have a great time for ourselves. We can't control whether the people like it or not. If we're having a great time and creating a great thing on stage, they're going to have a great time. So that's the job that we're there to do, is to make sure that we are having fun and doing good things on stage. And I think Tim has kind of the same mindset, just, you know, because I've seen him, body language says a lot, you know, and his eyes are always on the stage, and they're always on the band, and I personally appreciate that, and I get it, again, so.
Tim, I just want to say, you know, I've had a chance to work with a lot of different sound guys, and definitely it's a pleasure to work with you. You make it easy for us. It's always, sound is perfect right off the bat. Not much to never leaves anything wish you'd have done that differently. It's never like that. Always makes it very easy. Very friendly guy. I mean, I haven't known you that long, but I definitely look forward to years ahead of working with you and just chatting about life and that kind of thing in general. Thanks for making everything sound really good for us and making it very easy for what we do.
Have to ditto to all of that. Hadn't known Tim that long either, but I think one thing that both of us, when we met, there was a mutual respect between the two of us, that we're both professionals and that we come prepared. And one thing about him, more so than anybody maybe I've ever worked with in sound, is he's always prepared. He doesn't shrink when people come in unprepared. He just makes it better. You never don't know where he stands or what he thinks about something, which is great, because I hate having to guess. Right or wrong, good or bad. I love the man because I always know what he's thinking and know where he stands. But to re-emphasize what they said, reiterate what they said, he makes it easy. He takes all the technical crap away from us so we can focus on the music, left brain, right brain thing, and we appreciate it more than he'll ever know. Tim, thank you very much, buddy. Thank you, man.
That's a great season.
Great song. Everybody who has a drink right now, let's just hold it up. Let's give a little toast to Tim. Here's what I want. Tim, keep doing it forever, man. You got a lot of people who love you. On Tuesday night here, for a long time, there's a blues jam that is sponsored by the Blues Society. I kiddingly always put on Facebook, it's the night of the music of my people. And we're going to have someone from the jam talk a little bit now. This woman has got incredible amount of talent. She plays the keyboard, the saxophone. I saw her on the drums one time. Guitar a little bit, and can really sing. Dusty Long, come on up here.
So how's everybody doing out there tonight? That's the way I like it. And I'd like to say a little bit about Jimmy. Papa T, he is just wonderful. Papa T, did you know you're wonderful? You're marvelous. That's why we care for you. Yeah. I was playing music when I was 15 years old in Hawaii. And it was wonderful. And you know what? The biggest thing that happens is that you have got to get good sound. And when you get on that mic and sing, it's got to be good. When you play the saxophone or whatever you're doing, the system has got to be great. And this man, Papa T, he's got it all. Because he has done us such a beautiful, beautiful way of putting that sound up and making us sound good. Let's give him another big hand, because we just love you. You are just wonderful, and we just want to thank you so much. You have helped us out, and we love being here. I love it. We live all the way in Hampstead, and we come all the way down here. The people here are wonderful. Each and every one of you guys are so wonderful, and I love to be around you, and you're like my brothers and sisters, and like my family. And this place is so, so great. They have got some of the best people here, right here. So y'all pat yourself on the back and give yourself a big hand, honey. Yeah. And I want to thank you. Everybody throw a kiss to Papa T. Come on. And tell him we love you, Papa T. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for that wonderful, wonderful sound system. The way you bring all that sound together, make us sound so good. Like right now, I know I love my voice, honey. Because you are wonderful, and we enjoy each and every one of you, and especially you and your sound. And thank you again so much. Let's give him another big hand. God bless you. God bless you.
Is this the Jehovah's Witness Convention? No. Next, Lan, where are you? Lan Nichols, come on up. Lan is the president of the Cape Fear Blues Society, keeping the music of our people going in this area. He's also the director of the Cape Fear Blues Festival, which 90% of it happens right here. And his real day job is WHQR as an operations and IT expert. And he's going to talk a little bit now.
Yeah, thank you, Steve. And before I get going about the Blues Society, we are going to have a jam tonight, guys and gals. And there's a jam Saturday as well. And don't forget the New Year's Eve jam. But before I get going about the Blues Society, I wanted George to step up. I do Soup to Nuts Live with George, and over a year ago, it's maybe 2 years now, going on 2 years, we were lucky enough, one day Tim just said, "Can I help you guys out?" And we said, "Sure." And Tim started helping us with the live sound and being an extra set of ears for recorded sound at Soup to Nuts. And George has been a part of that, and I'm going to let him say a few words.
And we did need the help too. Tim, thanks so much for coming down to help us out with that. It sounded so much better once you got behind the board and lent us your ears. And you've been so faithful about doing that, so great about it. We can't thank you enough. And all of you who tune into the radio station, to public radio, when you hear the live concerts that we have, we record them down in our gallery space. It's Tim at the other end and setting up all those levels and getting the good sounds together so we can broadcast them to you. So Tim, hats off. Thank you so much. Oh, and Gene Jolly for you. Your secret love.
Yeah. Thank you, George. And we do appreciate Tim at Soup to Nuts. If you listen to it after it's broadcast, while he's more concerned about the live sound, he helps me listen to the mix, and so we can get that audio right and for rebroadcast later, and it really makes a difference. I don't know, there's not a lot. I was trying to think about the first time I met Tim. I cannot remember. I can't remember. It's been a few years back. But the first thing I'd like to say, I want to thank his wife for sharing him with us. Thank you so much. Really. If you didn't let him come out, we'd be lost. Really. So we can't thank her enough. Tim has been a principal part of a lot of things we do. Our Cape Fear Blues Festival, doing sound, always helping us out at a reasonable rate, if not free, just like he does for so many other things. And the Cape Fear Blues Challenge, and he's here almost every week for the Cape Fear Blues Jam. We really appreciate that. If you want to hear his handiwork, come out and see us any Tuesday night. And Tim, from all of us, all the people, all the musicians, the members, thanks for what you do. You're an asset to this community. Thank you so much. Thanks again to everybody who organized this as well. They've done a great job. Steve and Sandy and everybody. The catering is incredible. I'm going to give you back to Steve.
Actually, the catalyst behind this is right here. J.D. Hughes. Not only is he a beautiful face and a great photographer, he's a great organizer. Gina and Michael Pittman. Come on down.
Gina and Michael.
Gina and Michael Pittman.
How are you? Keeping the gym warm.
Michael.
How you doing? Good to see you.
This is Gina and Michael Pittman. They own the Beach House out on Market in Ogden. We're on January the 18th. I'll be running a Poker for Puppies tournament for the Cape Fear Rescue League. It's going to be a big event. Tim has done a lot of events here. Actually, this was conceived at the kidney benefit a couple of months ago. We're outside freezing our carcasses off. They're going to say a few words. Thanks, guys.
I just want to say one quick word before I give it over to Gina, and she talks for like hours and hours on end. But no, she's not going to do that because she's only had one sip of drink right now, so we're good. But no, every time you come and help us with a benefit, I always say, thank you so much. You're the glue that puts everything together, and you just help out. And if something goes wrong, you're there and you figure it out. And we're sort of new to all of this. We just go along with whatever needs to be done. And half the time we don't know what needs to be done. So you're there to help out. And when everybody said, let's do some appreciation to Papa T, I was like, that is the best thing I've ever heard. So it's great. Thank you.
Hello. Not really talking to a microphone. La la la. I'm just kidding. All right. Really brief, actually, because I've only had that much to drink. And I'm sure everybody can attest to this. First one there, last one to leave. And for that, I will always be thankful. Anytime that I ever have to ask you to help me do something, even if you have a recommendation, you're there. And you always make every benefit, aside from working for the bands that have been there, just a huge success. Everybody loves you. And I don't know. I mean, we couldn't do it without you. And I appreciate everything that you do for us.
It's good to recognize. It's great. How are you doing? I'm
Is Matt Johnson here? Okay, I've got to tell you this story. They set up an event on Facebook for this, and JD did it. He does about 90% of the events on Facebook. And I think it was the Rusty Nail page. Matt Johnson put on the page, he said, I almost had a heart attack when I first saw this because I thought it was a memorial. Okay. Musicians are this man's very much alive, okay? Musicians are really good about stepping up to help people. There was a sound engineer, though, who did pass away. Yeah. And he goes up to the pearly gates, and St. Gabriel says, I've got some good news and some bad news. He says the good news is the equipment here is incredible. You'll never have to move it. State of the art. It's going to stay right where it is. No one from the stage is ever going to say, turn the monitor up. He says, but the bad news is, St. Peter has a girlfriend who he thinks can sing. All right.
Maybe she can.
And maybe she can, yeah. One of my joy to bring up now, Jamie, Lee, come on up. Collectively known as BLP. And I do have to make a plug. Jim Nelson has a new CD, The Blues and Elsewhere. We're tired of talking about it. You should buy some, or at least listen to it. It's really wonderful. CDbaby.com.
Take it away, Jim.
All right. So, Tim, almost every night that our band is playing, Tim is doing sound, and I hear all these nice things that people have been saying about Tim, and I'm thinking, are we talking about Tim Tyson? I don't know who the hell you think you are, but I'll tell you who I know who you are. And he's the guy that shows up hours before I get there because I'm lazy, and I could not do that. When we get there, everything is set up, ready to go. Everything works. If there's any problem, Tim is always the one whose head's down going for it. You never have to say, Tim, I need this taken care of, or I need this taken care of. He's always 2 steps ahead of you. When I'm done and I got a snoot full of bourbon and I'm leaving out the door, 10 minutes after I get done, Tim's there sober and tearing down. You know, to have a sober sound man, oh my God. That's got to be a friggin' first, you know? I know the musicians are here smiling, yeah, it's like, whoa, he's sober? That's strange. So, I can't say enough for you, Tim. Thank you.
Right on. Well, obviously, I'm your favorite diva. Because I show up maybe 10 minutes before. No. It's not on purpose. Time waits for no one. But, you know, I mean, obviously, just so overwhelmed all the time. You guys, you thank you for sharing him with us and you know, letting him come out and play with us every weekend, and we do not thank you enough, hands down. We definitely do not, and you know, I will continue to rap chords until the cows come home, just for you. But thank you so much. I mean, you make us sound great, and we did not have a sound person for a long, long time, and that made such a difference. I mean, once you joined our crew, it was like, all right, we got our 6th member of the band. Like, it was a blessing, and we just continue to sound better and better and better, and we owe that all to you. So thank you so, so, so much.
You know, this is an amazing town. I've seen so many people embrace, you know, camaraderie through so many different means of music and so on. But I think this is really a fantastic way to show the love of this fine gentleman who I've had the benefit of working with for the last 2.5 years. And every time I show up to do a gig, he's got some kind of crazy anecdote to tell me that I suck, and I do. And we go through this whole ritual of all these crazy things, and but it's lighthearted, and I couldn't reiterate the fact that every single time we show up to do the gig, everything is right where it needs to be. If there's a problem, we can work it out, and I've just seen you grow so much, man. Your professionalism, everything. I mean, obviously the community really sees that and embraces that, and my hat's off to you, pal.
I just have to say one more thing. We should also appreciate Teresa, because all these long hours he works at her expense. So, thank you.
I landed in Wilmington 7 years ago and came from LA. And in LA, the rusty nail of LA is a place called Babe and Ricky's Inn. And it's really in the hood. It's in Compton. And I said, where is the blues place in Wilmington? Probably the first week I came in here, this wonderful woman had a smiling face, introduced herself to me. This is my second home right here. Sandy Williams. Come here. Sandy. Sandy has managed to keep the doors of this classy joint open for 14 years, which is unheard of. She does a lot for the community. She's a wonderful woman. And she's going to talk to Tim right now.
Hey everybody, I'd like to thank everybody for coming out to the Tim Tyson Appreciation Day. It takes a community to do what we do, and for events where nobody's sick, nobody is hurt, it's a simple appreciation for what one does. And Tim, your name came up and we were like, this is going to design a whole event around Tim Tyson and what you do. Always the first one to come to a gig, always the last one to leave. Everybody knows where you stand, like has already been stated, and I love doing business with you. However, I don't know that you know how much you inspire me. And it is people like you and what you do and the passion that we share that designs what I do. It makes me want to be here. It makes me fight for this little club that all of you fight with me for. And it's because of people like you that share this passion for this town and a club and a tight community and what you do and what you bring and your talent. It's unmatched. So I appreciate you, and so much so that we're going to do a couple little things. So I've got something to give to you. It's right over here. If you will all join me in presenting this plaque, we've come up with a Nail of Honor plaque. And Tim, you share this plaque with the memory of John Carell, who also did so much for me and for this place and the community. And I hope that we can hang this here and that we can then, as a community, come together with others who will join you in your Nail of Honor. tradition. We have a new Rusty Nail tradition. The Nail of Honor recipients are going to receive a pass of the hat. So I've got, I think this is Jim Nelson's hat from his CD release party. It's a John Deere cap.
It is mine.
It has got no hair in it, so it's Jim's. We're going to pass the hat. If you want to throw $1 in there just to say thank you for what Tim does, honestly, we could not do what this man does. We couldn't do what we do without him, and I can't tell you how much I appreciate you, my friend. Thank you. All right, pass that hat, baby. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, baby.
Everybody, thank you for coming. And if you have not been here for a blues jam, let's get it going, because this stage gets awfully hot here on Tuesday night. Thank you very much.